Hey guys, DRedFox788 here to bring you another video. Today we're going to be discussing the top 5 things I'd like to see in the potential Horizon Forbidden West DLC. Let's get right into it. At number 5 we have new machines. Now the Frozen Wilds DLC did introduce 3 new machines including the control towers, and I do think we're going to get to see some new machines in the Horizon Forbidden West DLC, whatever its name is. And with the wide array of machines that Forbidden West already provides, I think it would be quite interesting to see some new machines with some new abilities, perhaps. As for example, the Scorcher was super aggressive, and the Frostclaw and Fireclaw were massive tanks that were also super aggressive and dealt high damage. So I think it could be quite interesting to see that. But I think we're also going to see some new Apex machines, as for example, in the world we can actually find Apex Sunwing Heart, so which does indicate that the Apex Sunwing does exist somewhere in the world. At number 4 we have new strike pieces and new strike players. Now I do believe that we're going to see some Apex strike pieces in the DLC, as we get to have one and only one in the main game. So I would assume that as Apex machines are more common throughout the world, I would assume that Apex pieces become more available, and perhaps we have to win them by playing against several Strike Masters, which I think would be nice. And personally, I do really enjoy the Strike game. I mean, I've made several videos about it, and I think it'd be quite nice, and I think it is an enjoyable addition to the game. At number 3 we have new armors, weapons, and skills. Now the Frozen Wilds DLC did introduce a bunch of new weapons that were, I think, very good and very different from what we played in the main game in Zero Dawn, which really changed a bit how gameplay worked. But I do hope we get to see some more melee weapons in the DLC, as we only have 2 spears and they have the same stats. And I kind of hope we get to actually have the ability to put attributes on them, as the spear in Zero Dawn had an electric attribute. And when fighting Regala, we saw that she put a plasma attribute on her spear, so it would be quite interesting if Aloy could do that. Also, come on, Guerrilla needs to include a legendary ropecaster. We need to have one. Now, in terms of armors, I think it'd be quite interesting to see legendary sets of the mixed sets, as we only have 2 and they're both very rare, and it'd be also very nice to have 3 coils instead of 2, just saying. At number 2 we have new areas and new allies. Now, in the Frozen Wilds DLC we were introduced to the Banu clans, and I think it was quite a big area, as it was quite vast and there was a lot of things to do there. So if we get something like that, I think it'd be quite good. According to people, we could have this as the starting area, the entrance, or this area, as some structures have been found there, but we don't know yet. It's just speculation. However, I do believe that we might actually go back to the Norse Sacred Lands, as Aloy does kind of hint towards it at the end of the game if you look at Varl's focus.
I'll head back to the Sacred Lands and see Sona again.
Which leads on to the second point, which is new allies. As in the Frozen Wilds DLC we were introduced to the Banuk, which I think Aloy could send someone to recruit them, but also, based on the clip I showed previously, recruit the Nora and train them how to use focuses, as they have access to all Mother Mountain, where the Apollo database was supposed to be used there. And we do know that Aloy has an act of recruiting people from various backgrounds, including even Silence. And based on what Aaron told us,
look at us, 3 battle-hardened badasses forging into the unknown. This ought to be good.
At number 1 we have more information about Nemesis and more lore about Horizon, as the Frozen Wilds DLC did introduce a bunch of lore like Cyan and all that. So I think it'd be quite interesting to dive a bit more into that kind of stuff, but also maybe get a bit more information about Nemesis, as Aloy does now have access to the data of the Zeniths, so they could try to figure out actually how to properly stop it, and actually when it's arriving, so they can figure out a plan on how to deal with it, and actually figure out what it actually is, as we don't actually know what it is exactly, as Beta says that it does, based on the power signature, it doesn't know where, she doesn't know whether it's a swarm of machines or just a massive one, which could be quite interesting to see. But I think it'd be quite nice also to see like maybe a teaser of it, like to actually see what it is, and the DLC. But who knows, because
you people are going to need all of the help you can get.
But anyway guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and write a comment if you agreed or disagreed with me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!
Hey! Shh.